Okay, you guys. Jack, where's your paper? You guys should all have paper out. No, I didn't give you a sheet yet. True, but I want, and I could give you the sheet, but it has the answers on it, so I don't want that. I will give it to you, but in the meantime, I know, so did I. Okay, here's what we have going on this week. This is day 2 on the chain rule. It's day 2 on your assignment sheet, but you probably didn't do your math last night. But you have time in class to work. And then tomorrow, you'll have time in class, time to ask me questions. But if you don't try it, you won't be able to ask me questions. Then Friday, you have a quiz on this. Okay? I might take problems off this assignment and put them as an assessment tomorrow. It's the same assignment sheet. Turn it over. Okay? Just if nothing else to get you to do the work. I'd rather you be mature and say, I got to do the work, but whatever. Okay, are there questions on how to do this one? Alexi, do you know how to do this one? It's the derivative of the sine, which is cosine. And now remember, this doesn't change. Just like the Tootsie Roll Pop. The inside doesn't change. Then times the derivative of the inside. So it's plus 1. Yeah, we'll go over that one too. Is A okay? B, you start with the outside, tangent, which gives you secant squared, and remember, whatever's in there doesn't change. It is not tangent times, it's the tangent of. And then this is x to the 1/2. Does that help? Some people have done enough that they know the derivative of the square root of x. It's 1/2, then it's, careful, he's almost got it right. It's 1/2, and then it's x to the negative 1/2. The way he's got it written, that's distributing that, and that's not true. Okay? Casey, question. This is not correct, but you could clean it up. If you were a multiple choice question, which is what this would be, that the red part's correct, and let's fix it a little bit. It's secant squared of the square root of x. The 2 is in the denominator, and this x to the negative 1/2 is also in the denominator. That's what it would look like on the multiple choice section. It would not look like what we have here in black and red. They will simplify multiple choice. So there's, to some degree, you have to know some of it, but it's really complicated. No, they're not going to give you anything that cannot be simplified. I know that there was one problem that it's very tricky to simplify, but we'll deal with that in April. Because x to the negative 1/2, this really is the 2, and then that's x to the 1/2, which is 1/2 square root of x. Declan, where's your book? No, that's not your book. The negative exponent means it's in the denominator. Okay, Brian? Okay, ready to try 2 more? That's the answer. I'll give you a handout on that. Write it down. Try it. I will give you answers. I'll give you the handout that goes with this, but not yet. Okay, ready? A number of you have problems with the first one, which is why I give you, guys, why I give you the problems. Tells me that you're understanding or not understanding. Okay, so what I'm going to do is rewrite this a little bit, and I'm hoping that this helps. That's what that means. If you want to graph this on your graphing calculator, then you must write it the way I just wrote it. Your graph, you can try cosine squared of 3x. Your calculator does not know what to do with it. So, and I don't know why they don't make it so I can do it, but they don't. So now let's do the derivative. First, we do the outside function, which is a squaring function. Okay, girls? It's a squaring. So it's 2 times, and honestly, this is what I do. I do the outside function. Does this change? No. So a number of you didn't have the cosine there. I know it's tempting. Okay? That's the squaring function. Then you multiply it by the derivative of the next function's the cosine. So it's what? Now, a lot of you don't want to write the parentheses, and I call that, as we've talked before, the case of the missing parentheses. They have to be there. Minus sine of 3x, notice that doesn't change, times, do you get it, Brian? So you could clean it up a little bit. And there are identities you could use as well. So it's negative 6 cosine of 3x sine of 3x. And in the old days, it would have been important to do the identity, but not so much anymore because of calculators. If you want to check your answer with the back of the book, you're going to have to multiply that out. Actually, the answer in the back of the book is probably negative 3 sine of 6x. Because what's 2 times 3? And then there's the negative. No, I don't have to simplify. However, on the exam, multiple choice, that would be a choice. Guess what another choice would be? Positive 6. Oh, they will do that. And other answers I saw in the room. Pardon? No. I'm saying on the multiple choice, they will give you what I call distractors. Yes. So you must read the answers and the questions carefully. Okay? You see what's happened there? Let me turn this some more. Ready to try the next one? Next one's kind of complicated. There's just a lot to keep track of, that's all. Ready? Okay. What's the outside function? So it's the sine of x. In fact, let me highlight it. So first we're going to do this. So it's the cosine. I don't have enough room there, even with that, by the way, of whatever's in there. I like parentheses around my angles. Okay? Jacob, what's next? Times. Yeah, so I have to do all of this. Let's first do this piece, which is, it's what? 0 plus Alex. Now we're going to do the tangent, which is what? Secant squared of 2x. Told you I didn't have enough room. Times, and now we have to do this one. Do I need the 0? No. So we can get rid of it if we want. Well, now we can do some homework questions.
Yeah. Homework.
Oh.
You're 23.
You sure?
23 was one of our problems.
We'll start with 17. Now, I also have 37 here, but what I'm going to do is do some of the other ones before that. We do them all, because you need to practice. I want to say I understand football, but can I play football? No, I watch football. I know what the penalties are, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'll be honest. But I enjoy it. And your homework on Friday is to go to the game. Okay, 17? Actually, there is no homework this weekend. Seriously, we're going to do 3-7. Okay, guys, plans for this week. 3-7 day 2 today, 3-7 day 3 tomorrow, Friday quiz on the chain rule. So practice. If you practice and you understand it, it should be easy A. So then your homework this weekend is to go to the state tournament. Who's your favorite teacher? Because I know you're gonna have some other work. Okay, ready? It's so nice to have a book. Now you guys do know that the book is online. So if you've lost your book, Alexi, this is number 17, so I should see homework out. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know, I like to put parentheses there. Hey, girls. Yeah, that's the big question. Somebody wants to help me? I have all my signs. I can put them up. Okay. I have the signs. I just have to put them up. I have grades too. Okay, ready? Okay. Jack, what's the derivative of secant? You remember? Morgan has it. Secant of x, tangent of x. Okay, what's the x that's going to go in there? Okay, Casey? Colin? That's e to the x, right? That's my angle. Then you have to do times the derivative of what's inside that parentheses. So I need the derivative of this, which is e to the x. That's it. Noah, question? Well, I don't have what? It's the secant of this angle. That doesn't change. So it's e to the x, e to the x. If I had y equals the secant of f of x, let's see if that helps. So we first do the derivative of secant, which is secant of f of x, whatever's in there, times tangent of f of x, times the derivative of what's in there. And what's the derivative of f of x? Why do I what? I don't know what it is. Because some people were so confused about this. So I said that's just some function. So it's secant of that function stays the same. Then you multiply by the derivative. Let's do some more. 23 is the next one. Yes. I'm sorry, what? Because the derivative of secant is secant tangent. That's a great question. I didn't even think of that. The derivative with respect to x of secant of x is secant of x tangent of x. I did yesterday. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't. Noah. Yes. And what is, guys, your books should be open.
Yes.
The question is, what's the derivative of e to the x? It's e to the x. What's the derivative of e to the f of x? It's e to the f of x times the derivative of the inside function. I know you're saying that's not inside, but it is. You have two functions. You have the exponential function, and you have another function, f of x. So it's times f prime of x. Which, when they gave us this, they said, find the derivative, and I don't like where it is in the book. Remember that one?
Yep.
Jack, do you remember that one? That's e to the kx. And then they said, well, it's times k. Why is it times k? Because it's the derivative of that, which is k. K to the x is an exponential function, and we don't know how to do that. This is e to the kx. K to the x is not that. K mean it could be 2 to the x, or 3 to the x, or 4 to the x, or e to the x. E is just 2.715, whatever it is. Okay. What's the next one you want to look at? 23. 23 looks kind of hard. It really does. 17. And we had gone through 15, so we're just continuing. Wait, where am I? This one. Okay, first thing, make sure you copy it, right? Because that's always a problem. And it's easy to start on one problem and copy to go to another problem. Okay, Alexi, what's this going to be? So we ignore the 5 because it's just a constant, Casey and Colin. And now we'll do the derivative of what's in here. No. We're going to do the derivative of this thing, which is something to the negative 3. So it's negative 3 times whatever's in there to the what power? Go down. Negative 4. What's in there? Very good. 7x cubed plus 1. Can I take the 3 times the 7? No. Order of operations says I'd have to do that negative 4. I don't even know how to do that. And then we do times the derivative of the inside function, which now you're right. What is that? That's 21x squared. Oh, I could. I was just showing you the steps, because not everybody sees why it's negative 15. And we could clean it up if you wanted to. I don't really want to do the multiplication. Whatever that is, times this. Just the 7x cubed plus 1 is. If I wanted everything there to be to the negative 4, I need a parentheses here and over there, and I don't want to do that because it's wrong. Yeah. 31? Ooh. Matt, are you okay with it? Well, you know, I would like to change this a little bit. Just the way it's going to be written, but it's the sign of By the way, just watching in class will not get you that A on Friday. You need to practice. Okay, Noah? We have a quiz on Friday. And then that means your homework is to go to the football game Friday night.
Oh, okay. Are we getting
I'm planning on being there, so I'll look for you. You'll find me before I find you. Okay, ready? Okay, Casey. Somebody want to come up and do this problem?
I will.
I'll give you a little help. There. You've been up there a lot. Girls, and man, you want to come up? Yeah, come on. Okay, James is going to tell me what to do here. Okay. What's the first thing we do? Good. What is that? Cosine of, and I rewrote it this way because I'm going to do the derivative of that. Is everybody okay with why that is what it is? 2 squared x times what? I'm sorry. Shh. It's 2. Remember, that's still there. Times what, James? Times x to the, because this is my exponent. Square root of x is x to the 1/2. Say it again. It's the power rule. And I would probably like this to look nice if I want to check my answer in the back. So cosine of 2 square root of x. Let's see, the 1/2s go. The negative 1/2 puts it in the denominator, so it's the square root of x. If they ask for the second derivative, I either could use the product rule in the first line, or I could do the quotient rule in the second line. You know, and those are really good questions. If you have a negative power, it means it goes either in the numerator or denominator, depending where you start. Casey. I could. Yes. Would you have to use the chain rule inside the quotient rule? Absolutely. So you'd have the derivative of the cosine of 2x, you'd have to use the chain rule. And, well, if you want to check your answer in the back of the book. Only if it's matching, you know. Okay, guys, let's get back to work. Now, we've done a lot. How about 33? Okay, Noah, you're going to help me with 33. No, so watch, try, do. When you understand it, it's not that bad. Guys. Okay, ready? Okay, you guys ready? Steven, can you help me with this? Okay, you guys, you should be ahead of me. Forget that. We're going to do what? The fifth power first. All of this to the fourth. Would it help if I just put like ditto marks? So that you see this doesn't change?
Yep.
Does that help? Okay. Times, Jack, times what? Oh, now you have to know this. You guys remember the derivative of the secant?
Yes.
Secant of x, tangent of x, plus, now the derivative of tangent. You remember that one? Secant squared. And if you wanted to take the derivative of the x's, you could. Times 1.
No. Is that it?
That's it. No. See, once you start getting this, it's not that bad. Understanding why it is what it is a lot tougher. Let's do 35. I'm going to pause my recording and have you try this. These are different things. The derivative of cosine is negative sine of x cubed times the derivative of x cubed. Emily, you're going to do the other one? Okay. Okay, so she did the derivative of the outside times. And what's the derivative? There. That's right. That's all there is. Is it getting a little easier? So first you forget this cosine, you just do the power. So I do 3. So it's 3 times whatever's in there to the second power. That's what that is. And then you do the derivative of the cosine, which is negative sine. Okay. We're doing great on time. So tomorrow, we're going to do the next problem. But tomorrow, if we can go to the board and do problems together like this, or you can work independently, I can answer your questions. I don't care. But I want you to work. Nothing's new. We quiz on Friday. We start the new stuff next Monday. Tough. But we're going to get there. It's tough. I'm not going to lie to you. When it gets hard, I tell you when it's hard. This is a little hard to begin with, but once you catch on, it gets to be not too bad. But it is easy to miss a piece. It's very easy to miss a piece. Implicit differentiation? Can be. If you understand what a derivative is, then it's not so bad. Okay. Here's 37. And let's go ahead and get this started at least. Now, this is really typical AP. They might actually have defined P of X a little bit differently, but they didn't. AP will be a little bit harder, but pretty much the same. I want to find H prime of 3. Now, I have not done this. I didn't do this formally. So, girls, put your phones away. I've never had such a problem with phones. No, it's all of you. No finger pointing. Okay. What is H? H is, I got to read it because I don't know what it is. F of G of X. Okay, let's see if we can translate like everything we've done. We're raising the level of understanding here a little bit. I first must take the derivative before I can put in that 3. So, how do you find the derivative of this? This is the chain rule. That's a composite function. So you do what? The derivative of the outer function. What's the outer function? F. So that's F prime. Does the G of X change? No. This is 37 times the derivative of the inner function, which is G prime of X. That's the chain rule. Now I want to find H prime of 3. Well, it's F prime. Now you can put the 3 in. Of G, F prime of G of 3 times G prime of 3. Whoops. Okay, and you start on the inside to evaluate this. So it's F prime. What's G of 3? I got to go back and look. There's the 3. G of 3 is what? 1. Now, what kind of work would you have to show? Exactly what I have written down. Answer only if this is free response will get you no points. Okay? Times, then G prime of 3. I love these problems. They're easy. Because I don't have to do the derivative of some function. And what's F prime of 1? Now, let's see. I want F prime of 1. So that's this column. That's 5. 5 times 20. This is exactly what I'd show. No, F prime of 1? 1. There's no negative 6 in there. Are you in the right problem? This is 37. No. In practice, it's 38 if you want. 100. That's on the yellow sheet from yesterday. It's this. It's the way you would write it out with the special symbols. Don't even want to use the right words. If you know that, you're fine.
It's 100.
Yeah, it's 100. So can you find the other ones? Can you find H prime of 2? How do you find P prime? So P of X is equal to G of F of X. Okay, so what is P prime of X? First you take the derivative. You always take the derivative, put the numbers in last. So what is this? G prime of F of X times the derivative of the inside, which is F prime of X. Okay, I'm going to give you time to try it. I'll come around and answer questions. I don't have answers. You do. They're in the back of your book. You know, the back of the book. So go ask Bob.
Back of book.
Bob. Okay, I know it's a goofy joke, but you